But before I was able to do anything, the darkness asked me, "Tony, you asleep?" Thank God. I gave it a fucked up voice because I was expecting it to be something. No, it's just Olia. My sister's pale face protruded from the thick shadows. I almost screamed from relief. Olia? I'm not sleeping. Did something happen? Olia frowned and stuck out her lower lip, a clear sign that she was about to cry. It's there again, staring at me. Shoo her away, Tony, please. So scared. The fear that was tormenting me just a minute ago crawled away and hit somewhere in my stomach. I needed to calm Olia down. It was just a dream, silly. Don't be scared. Dreams don't bite. No one's going to harm you. Oh, she's trembling. Precious. Olia sobbed. She was trying her best to believe me. But was I sure myself? I have an idea. Let's go to your room and watch the video. Sleeping Beauty, for example. You like that cartoon, don't you? Why does the Sleeping Beauty have a prince and I have this scary bird? That question took me by surprise. Alright, let's watch Cinderella. My thoughts became tangled, fuzzy. What was that? Oh! What studied me with its eyes while dancing feverishly under the moon? The darkness was clinging to the window, and it couldn't be fooled by Babushka's old chants. It couldn't be satisfied with a feast of lard and long ashen hair. Tony, you coming? Yes, just a moment. Oh! Oh! Oh, baby! Okay. So, that wasn't a tiny rabbit. That was more like a wereman. Wolf boy. Were puppy. That's why I didn't want to laugh at Olia and her owl in the morning. By the way, that animation... Anime as fuck, bro. Totally jumping from the bed. Anime as fuck. Who could be visiting us here in the middle of nowhere? We don't know anyone around here. So persistent. I felt extremely unsettled just from a silly thought that our morning guests could have come from the woods. What? I could barely hear voices coming from the front door. My mind was urging me to hide. In the closet. Under the table. Behind the curtains where Olia always hides. Tony! Come here! I felt like kettlebells were tied to my feet, but still dragged them toward the hallway. A couple of policemen towered over me in the doorway. They smelled like frost and worry. My mom always winced and grumbled the moment she saw patrol cars. Worse than bandits. Yeah, Russian alright. At the moment though, she looked somewhat confused. Hello. The senior officer, who wore a grim expression, nodded. A boy had gone missing yesterday. His name's Vova. Look at this, please. Have you seen him? The policeman held out a photograph to me. There was a ginger boy around the age of elementary school, pictured with a wall carpet as the backdrop. Obviously Russia. He had a striped cat in his hands and wore a wide smile. No, I haven't. Are you sure? Look closely. Where would I see him? I don't know anyone around here. I barely leave the house. Well, maybe you've seen him from the window. That's right. Your windows look straight at the forest, don't they? The window. Oh, baby. No, I haven't seen anything. I see. He sounded tired, but his eyes... His stare, long and heavy, was full of suspicion. I squirmed unwittingly under the weight of guilt, which his giant shadow cast over me. The policeman finally tore his eyes from me and glanced over the hallway, the stairway and the cracks in the ceiling, which I haven't noticed before for some reason. How do you like your new place, by the way? Getting used to it? Bit by bit. It's just our little daughter misses the city a lot. Misses the city, huh? Have the locals been treating you well? Yes, everything is alright, thank you. The policeman pierced through me one more time with his grey eyes. My head started spinning. Can I help you somehow? I asked out in a shaky voice to look like a polite boy and to end this unpleasant conversation sooner. Now that I think about it, you look just like one of my nephews, little fella. He's a witty boy around your age, wears the same type of goggles. Haha, always engrossed in reading those mystery novels. Told me he wants to enroll in police school when his family visited this summer. Wanted to help other people, just like me, see? I felt uncomfortable, as if a distant relative and not a police officer stood before me. You know what? Little boys like you should stay at home, steer away from trouble. The times have changed so much. Mom interjected in a cold voice. You don't say. Ah, well then. What grade are you in, Tony boy? 6th. Have you made any friends here so far? Not yet. I'll be going to school for the first time after the break. Ah, then I'll leave you my number, just in case. Call me if you have any new info. The policemen were gone, along with their shadows, the smell of cheap cologne and the photo of a smiling boy. His face still stood before my eyes. I wondered what it was like for him, being all alone, there. Where is there? The forest? For some reason, I thought of the forest, swaying in the wind. Yep. What did his poor parents feel? Probably a shit ton of grief. And what would my parents do if I'd gone missing? I don't know. Would they cry and thrash around hysterically? Or would they accuse each other, like they always do, and forget about me, eventually? Mom, this Vova, did he go missing in our forest? Seems like it, poor child. I looked out the window at the road. The police UAZ drove off toward the village. The officer's nephew came to mind when I was splitting off old paint from the windowsill. I remembered all the teenage mystery novels from the Black Kitty series I've read this summer. Your average boys and girls investigated all sorts of mysteries there. They looked for clues, spied on suspicious people. And after a set of amazing adventures, bam, solved any complicated case. They became local celebrities and must have made their parents very proud. I noticed a trail of policemen's footprints that led to the forest. And then it clicked in my head. Why don't I start an investigation of my own? Maybe I'll find that lost boy. And I'll get a reward. Olia will be so happy. And not only Olia, Mom and Dad too. Maybe they'll even forget about their quarrels for a while. Maybe I'll even save us from the D word. I fantasized about buying Olia a Tamagotchi and getting a cassette player and a bunch of tapes for myself. And a whole box of Kinder Surprise. When was the last time our parents bought us any toys? Last autumn, I think. My dad had lost his job at the time. There's that annoying song about it. What does that mean? I had little to no idea what was the accountant's job like. They count money, I think? Yeah, something like that. Neighbors used to envy us. Nowadays, Mom and Dad barely had money to afford sweets, and Dad would always divide a single chocolate bar between me and Olia. Sometimes I gave her my share too. No matter how much I wanted to eat sweets, she was still just a pipsqueak. That's cute. I couldn't wait to go out, looking for clues. Going outside... Yeah, right. You want the police to go around with your photograph next? The forest is so thick. What if the boy got snatched up by wild animals or something even worse? Even worse? Echoed through the hallway. I won't go far. I'll stay away from the forest. Did you hear what I said, or should I repeat myself? Better go pack your school bag or play with Olia. That was the creepiest sound effect I have ever heard in my life. The sound of splashing water came from the kitchen. It meant that the argument was over and Mum had the last word. To kitchen, open, to front yard. Open. The dark, stuffy closet. Mum says it smells like mice, but how would she know their smell? She hates when I stick my nose in there. She's afraid I'll cut myself on the freshly sharpened axe. And Olia can't even be lured close to it. She thinks Babai is living there. I tried to help her fight her fears once. I opened the door and turned on a dim lamp so she would see there was nothing but cobwebs, dad's tools, and scratched walls. She still didn't believe me. And I like to hide in the closet and listen to Olia count outside. 1, 2, 3, better hide from me. And then drag her feet on the creaking floorboards, hoping that she wouldn't need to look for me in the cramped monster's den. Alright. So... Ooh. Oh, there's like... It shows you things that you can look at. My parents prohibit me from making long-distance calls, but from time to time I really want to hear my old friends. Sometimes I would just pick up the phone, listen to the low hum of the zoomer and the distant crackling, imagining the wind howling in the ice-laden cords. This cross had seen so many people come and go in this house. It was black, as if it absorbed all human sin from the long years it was hanging under the ceiling. Damn. After Babushka died, Mom was going to take it off and hang a horseshoe in its place as a lucky charm. But she cut herself with the cross's sharp corner and almost fell from the stepladder. Huh. Dad caught a sign from above and ordered the cross to be left alone in its rightful place. Alright, let's go to the kitchen. Let's open the fridge. Open this. Babushka kept ice cream for me and Olia there, but now I could only see meat bits for soup and clumped together pelmeni. I grew to hate them already. Well, whatever, turn back. In that case, what can I interact with here? Look at the radio. Crossword puzzle. I took a peek at Mom's crossword. She would get very angry when someone gave her advice, so me and Dad faked knowing the answer and being about to reveal it all the time. I smiled at that fleeting thought. Vertigo, 9 letters. The name of the Philistine deity that protected them from viper bites and had a nickname, the Lord of Flies. Second letter is E. I don't think I actually know that. Emercom of Russia has declared a state of emergency due to adverse weather conditions. According to the weather forecast, the cyclone is moving toward the region. Expect heavy snowfall, blizzards, and snow drifts on the road. Keep your eyes open and take care of yourself. Alright, I guess turn back. I mean, the only option is to go to the front yard, right? Anton! I'll whip you if you make a single step out the door. What the fuck am I supposed to do? What is this then? Mom's spec top, a family relic. My mom played with it when she was little, then she gifted it to me. Ollie was next in the succession line. The toy belonged to her now. I genuinely know what those are. I think I had one myself. So what am I supposed to interact with? Oh, I guess there's this and that. The decrepit and stain-covered calendar was once my favorite form of entertainment in Babushka's house. I remember waking up and running to the kitchen so I could tear off yesterday's leaf first thing in the morning. As if the coming day would get lost in the taiga forest without my help. That's cute. One day closer to New Year's, one day closer to Babushka's funeral. And this is the last one. The side of an old ocean freezer was checkered with my childish drawings, Mum's recipes, and all kinds of stickers from bubblegum with dinosaurs that Olia liked so much. Among that still life picture hung a piece of ruled paper with the phone number of the police officer who visited us. First Lieutenant Tikhonov. I read inside my mind, looking at the officer's sprawling handwriting. A scrap of paper was held by 2 pieces of a broken magnet from some old Soviet toy, and those pieces just barely covered up the numbers as if to taunt me. I leaned toward it to unveil the mystery and take the piece to a safer place where it would wait for its time when I would finally find Vova and be the first to call the police with the happy news. Anton! Mom's reproachful eyes stared at me. What do you need it for? Hands off, you'll lose it. Angering my mom was the last thing I wanted, so I lowered my hand. Well, fucking shit, bro. Oh hey, look, I found information. So here's what a babai is. In Slavic folklore, a nocturnal spirit used by parents to threaten their ill-behaving children. We have something similar, but we call it Turbo One. Oh, and the song is called Accountant, a song by an all-female Soviet pop band by the name of Combination, that was widely popular in the early 90s. Never heard it. Anton, get your ass out of the closet immediately. Oh, motherfucker. I need to distract Mom somehow, or I'll get scolded and my ass whipped with Dad's leather belt. How the fuck yuppie do I get your hands off the phone? Olga Stoy, a black cross. Brother, what if I do the radio? Nope, I guess I can't. Oh. It was difficult to lie to Mom, but there was no other way for me to run away from home. Mom, something's wrong with the TV. The picture is dim and there are stripes all over the screen. Mom's face became visibly distorted. Ah, you're killing me here. So have you had enough of shooting those stupid ducks now? Oh, that's a great game, dude. Told you the kinescope will go dim because of your console. I don't think that's how it works. Where will we find the TV technician in this hole, huh? Maybe it's just the settings? Please, go see for yourself. Strange, it worked fine in the morning. Maybe the snowfall caused it? Mom rubbed her hands clean on her apron and went to Olia's room. So all I had to do was just click on her, and I thought I was supposed to do something. Alright, where's the paper? Useful connections, I got an achievement. Alright, so now that I have the telephone number, can I call the phone? Nope. But I can leave. Alright, I have the phone number. And I left. I opened the front gate and went into the field. Carefully, so Mom wouldn't see me from the window. When I crossed half of the distance toward the forest, the snow piles became as high as my knees. I remembered my nightly fears. I saw those silhouettes around here. They were jumping around, holding hands. That hypnotizing music started playing in my head on its own. In the light of day, those distant figures felt like a simple dream. The sun turned my nightmares to ash, but the aftertaste was still there. Distant ringing in my ears, distorted shadows crawling on the snow alongside me, and a barely audible whisper in my head, blurry and almost kind. Everything was silent. So silent, I felt like the world was totally empty. No ground, no sky, no parents, no Olia. Time reached its limit, a one-way trip that ended at the forest's spiny stockade. Sometimes silence was much scarier than any scream. I absolutely agree with that. Our parents would scream at each other while arguing, and both me and Olia turned to stone listening to them. But then always came the ringing silence. Our apartment became numb a couple of days before we departed. It was hard to remember the last time Mom and Dad joked around, laughing, or spent time together, almost like all of it was in a previous life. When they kissed with Olia present, she always frowned and snorted in a funny way. But one day it all changed. Something important had left our home, and something scary filled the remaining void. It was as if a fire broke up and our parents were hurriedly packing our belongings, trying to save themselves and us. From who though? From the people with dead cold eyes who sometimes visited us in our previous home. The eyes that only saw balls of worms on the black ground and everything. And somewhere far away a siren was going off, trying to warn us of the coming menace. It says sport on his hat, that's sweet. I shuddered, chasing away my delusions, and looked around. Dude, he looks like Harry Potter and Sherlock Holmes in one. This child is gonna solve this mystery and you know it. There were only me, this white field, and the wind that was whipping up icy dust and belts of powdered snow. I squinted from the sun and turned my eyes to the sunless forest. It looked especially dark in contrast with the blinding whiteness. Knobby tree roots slithered under the snow like fat snakes. Rotten leaves and coniferous needles froze into the ice. Dry, prickly branches intertwined, bringing up uncomfortable thoughts about fences. Were they protecting the forest, or were they keeping something from breaking out? Some object was hanging from one of the pointy branches. I tried to get closer, drowning in snow, and when I almost got to the edge of the forest, I saw Knitted Mitten. It looked like a wounded bird among the hungering semi-dark. Should I take it to the police? The senior officer looked gloomy, but he still reminded me of Captain Casanova from my favorite TV show called The Streets of Broken Lights. Alright. He was also always anxious, with a tired look in his eyes, but still brave and strong. Would this mitten help them find the lost boy? Bova! I heard a distant shout. Looked like it came from the river. Oh yeah, we can hear it. As if the trees were calling out to someone. Bova resounded closer to me. Someone was standing there, behind the trees, hiding. Yeah, we can hear the shouts. Dude, I really wanted to take the axe with me, but Mom wouldn't let me, and I also couldn't call the police officer. Like, getting out with the phone number was the only thing I could do. And now I'm worried because of that. I knew someone was looking for the lost boy, but still, something was unsettling about that figure. Do we see a figure? Its stillness. How it was bent unnaturally toward the ground. Its blackness. There's no one there, just branches and roots. It's all just my imagination. A nearby bird flapped its wings loudly. Oh, there's a thing. Oh, that's definitely a thing. A shadow split from the tree and disappeared from my sight. I looked away for just a moment, but when I turned my gaze back to the same place, it was gone. So, it was my imagination after all? No, it wasn't, sweetie. Silence reigned for a painfully long time. Oh, I know that the jump scare's coming. I'm ready. Okay, not yet, I guess. My muscles were tightly sprung. My heart was beating somewhere in my throat. Any noise, any little movement, any small whisper from the ticket, and I'd sprint. But nothing of the sort happened. I looked at the mitten once more. Oh, he's cringing completely. Alright, I genuinely feel like it's not a good idea to dabble around with monsters. But at the same time, the shadow did go away. You know what, fuck it. Let's be brave. Brave boys. I decided to take the lonely mitten from the branch. Oh, I'm dead.